We see more of Zemo in this episode too. He is such a weasel in this episode.
He's just handing around like Jolly Ranchers.
Is good? Is good?
Turkish delight, irresistible.
Yeah. He's the guy you don't want at the playground with the kids. He literally says free candy. Hey everybody, and welcome to Twin Talk, a video discussion show where twin brothers Chris and Kevin drink and draw. We'll talk about comic books, movies, and all things pop culture. We're your hosts, Chris Hart.
Kevin Hart.
And today we're going to be talking about episode 4 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Episode 4, entitled The Whole World is Watching. It was a little bit slower than last week's episode, but there was a lot of things happening that is again going to culminate into the last 2 episodes. I really liked Bucky Barnes' struggle. At the beginning of this episode, we see him in Wakanda, it opens up with. And that's my favorite part of this character, the Winter Soldier, is that battle and that conflict of him trying to undo his past and redeem himself from his past mistakes. Sebastian Stan's acting in that moment of him like trying to resist was incredible.
Yeah, he pulls off that like single tear rolling down his face. It was a nice callback to the end of, I believe, Civil War, when it showed the Winter Soldier after he got his arm ripped off. Wakanda kind of took him in, Black Panther, and they gave him that vibranium arm, and they called him the White Wolf and all that. Mm-hmm. So a nice little flashback to that scene. And it's also the woman from the end of the last episode. So it was cool to see like a nice little backstory of Winter Soldier in Wakanda, and it was cool to see him like get over that.
Yeah.
I guess what would it be like the trance or something?
Finally break free, yeah, because it seemed like they were trying to do this over and over again.
Yeah.
And the Wakandans are so badass, first of all, that this woman was like, I'm not going to let you hurt anyone. And she's got the spear and everything. So at some point, this must have been like, he must have been going back into Winter Soldier phase and kind of like fighting the Wakandan soldiers. And they were super strong. And so clearly this was the night that he had a breakthrough. And he's like crying, he's gritting his teeth and everything, super emotional. We see more of Zemo in this episode too. He is such a weasel in this episode. This guy is just
he's a little prick in this one.
Yeah, he's just constantly sneaking off whenever he can.
He's just handing around like Jolly Ranchers.
Is good? Is good?
Turkish delight, irresistible.
Yeah. He's the guy you don't want at the playground with the kids. He literally says free candy.
I'm definitely getting the flavor that he's obviously going to turn on these heroes, which we had the theory going, but it would have been cool to see them team up, but he like went down into the sewers, like he like went like rogue into a toilet bowl or something.
Yeah, or like a bidet or something.
Yeah.
He just washed his ass and went down.
Because the Wakandans are after them. We see that from the last episode. We know that they're upset because in Civil War, Zemo killed their king T'Chaka. So they're obviously pissed about that. They want vengeance and they want Zemo in their domain or captivity.
They're also pissed about it too because they helped out Bucky as the White Wolf, and they're kind of like, oh, why did you break him out? You know,
yeah.
Why are you doing this? We helped you out. You know why we're after him. He killed our king. They're like, you have 8 hours. We're going to come get his ass. Yeah.
At one point, they even remove his arm. It's like, they demagnetized or whatever.
They
just got the stub.
Yeah. The way she did that was so sick. I was like, she just completely just like, it's like when they like break somebody's ankles in basketball. Just like, just lost his arm.
That's one thing I'll say, though, about this show is that it's building up to hopefully one of the characters, Sebastian Stan's Bucky Barnes or Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson, being the Falcon or the Winter Soldier, taking this legacy of Captain America's shield. They're so just chillax throughout this episode, throughout the series.
Bucky and Sam?
Bucky and Sam, they're just so chill. Like they're kind of just like letting things go by and stuff, and they're butting heads. They're just kind of letting things go. They gotta step up as heroes
a little bit, yeah,
because they're kind of
especially
just like,
when Sam's just walking around with no gear. He
doesn't have his wings.
Yeah. Eventually he comes out with them, but like for most of these episodes, he's just going into like death-defying situations
with a leather jacket.
Yeah, just like and a prayer, living on a prayer.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping to see them step up a little bit. There's only 2 more episodes. John Walker was again another favorite of mine in this episode. I don't know whether to like this guy or hate this guy, but I feel so bad for this guy every time he's on screen.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
He's almost just pathetic and like, but I like him.
I kind of love him. Yeah,
and it was just cool because I told you I found out last week that he Wyatt Russell actually auditioned to play Captain America way back in like 2010, 2011, mm-hmm. and he didn't land the role. But now that he's like part of the Marvel Universe, I think he would have been a good Captain America, honestly. But we see that he's playing John Walker here, who plays a guy who's, not fit for the role, really. But in this episode, honestly, I'm really glad to see that he took the super soldier
Yeah.
serum because they killed his boy.
Yeah, Lamar.
I was really kind of upset about that when he was dead. I was like, damn, like that girl Carly, the flag smasher, just bodied him into a pillar.
Yeah.
And he was dead on the spot. I was just like, I genuinely felt for him. I was like, man, like had he had super soldier serum at that time, maybe he would have,
Well, he did at that time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's just that like he didn't get into in time, and that was the thing is when John Walker again trying to assert his dominance as this role of Captain America, he loses in this fight to like 3 Wakandans. If he thinks it's girls or if they don't have super soldier serum, either way he's like insulted. He's like they didn't even have super soldier serum.
I felt bad for him.
So
there,
like, what good is he as this role of Captain America if he can't even beat 3 of these Wakandans that don't have super soldier serum? Bucky's got super soldier serum, and all these other like the flag smashers are like an army of super soldiers.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like battling this conflict, and I kind of like that sequence of like the Turkish mall or whatever the heck they were, when him and Lamar are talking. He's like, "Would you take it? Would you not?" So we see that he's not like power hungry, because he's like kind of battling like the serum can either turn you. It enhances your traits. If you're really good like Steve Rogers, you become Captain America. Whereas like Red Skull or whatever, like anything, it would just bring you down worse. So we have yet to see what he's become, because in his defense, his boy did just die and he had the serum.
He's an emotional wreck.
He's an emotional wreck, and it's kind of like an act of justice or vengeance against the Flag Smashers. Like, he's just trying to do what he feels is right, and he like decapitates this dude with the shield at the end of the episode in public. Everyone's live streaming it on Twitter and Instagram, so that's not a good look. The whole world is watching. That's where we get the title of this episode from. So what consequences will that have? Will he be dethroned with the shield? Like, will America be like, that's not a good look for us? PR, public relations, will they be like, yeah, you're done? Like, and then have either Sam Wilson or Bucky step up. Also, it is just relevant. Like, how many times have we seen something like everyone's just got their phones out? They're not doing anything to help the situation. But in this scenario, it's kind of like cancel culture, it feels to me. Like, the world on their phones, all we get is that glimpse of that perspective through that cell phone of him like destroying this dude with the shield.
You don't see him 10 minutes ago.
You don't see his boy die from the Flag Smashers. So how's that gonna look? The Flag Smashers are obviously not good on the media either way. Carly Margaret, though, like, as likable as they're trying to make her with her message and everything, she's gotta go, bro. She's done.
I'm done with her.
Yeah, I've been done with her. Yeah, she killed a whole bunch of people. Like, it's like violence for violence. Eye for an eye leaves everyone blind. So it's like some consequence has to come to this girl. Our heroes got to step up. Hopefully, in the next 2 episodes, someone gets.
I did appreciate
shield.
that Sam tried like reasoning with her and talking to her, and that's like, I feel like again that was another like underlying message. Like, hey, like sometimes all we gotta do is just talk it out.
Communicate.
No violence or like everybody like going after each other.
Yeah.
Just communicate and have open, honest communication and come to an agreement so that we can solve these problems. Of course, it wouldn't work in an action drama. Yeah. We need the violence, but at the same time, I appreciate what they're trying to do with this show. And I'm also wondering too if the 6 episodes is going to hurt it or help it, because with WandaVision, it was it 9 episodes.
Yeah.
And to me, that felt a little dragged out, a little long, especially since they teased so many things that didn't come to fruition. So I'm wondering if the 6 episodes for this is going to help it or harm it. I'm hoping that it helps it. I'm loving each episode. The first episode was a little uneventful, but every episode since has been great, and I think it's good storytelling.
That's the thing that I like about the show, is that the blurred lines, right? Like, our heroes are doing kind of villainous things. Not villainous, but like shady things. And the villain...
Freeing enemies.
Yeah, and the villains are kind of doing like honorable things. So how this all culminates, Sharon Carter didn't really get a spotlight in this episode. So we'll see what her role is. The Power Broker, too, we have yet to see what goes on with that, who that is, and everything else. But John Walker too, like, he's kind of like he led to his boy's demise, Lamar Hoskins, because he was too hot-headed. So it's like, I'm still torn between liking him, hating him. So I can't wait to see what happens with his character. I'm hyped that he has the super soldier serum.
Yeah, me too.
Either way.
I'm glad he took it, because even his boys, Lamar Hoskins, was it Battlestar?
Battlestar.
Even Battlestar was like, he's like, I would take it, of course.
Yeah.
That's like someone asks you, like, you want to bench 315? I'll do whatever it takes. So and another thing too I want to say is, like, we see that they have this conversation, Walker and Hoskins. They have this conversation about one of their missions back in war,
Afghanistan.
Yeah, so I want to see maybe a flashback to that scene.
That'd be awesome.
Because he says that he's got 3 medals of honor from the worst day of his life, and now he feels like he has a position to do some good as Captain America, but he can't do jack because he's got no super soldier serum, and he's like just being like
he's mad handicapped.
He's being spit on, he's being tossed around by Wakandans and legit superheroes and these terrorists, the flag smashers. So I want to see.
He's got to level up.
He says, "I wish I had the serum that day in Afghanistan, in the war." So
that'd be cool.
I'd like to see a flashback. I'm sure it'll come, but I'm interested to seeing that. Because that's an interesting, subject matter to dive into.
Guess we'll see how it plays out in the next 2 episodes. Anyways, that about wraps up today's episode of Twin Talk. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment below to join the discussion, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content. We'll see you next time. Peace!